This is the F3 FIA Formula 3 European Championship, and this man, Raffaele Marciello, if he wins this race, he wins the championship here, this first of the 3 races this weekend. And, well, he's on the pole position, so looking very confident indeed after that big wobble at Zandvoort. Then got it all back together at Vallelunga, despite, of course, not finishing the middle race when he finished up in smoke. And here is his arch rival, Felix Rosenqvist. He can still take the title, but certainly he has to have Rosenqvist have a couple of bad races. But Rosenqvist, well, mathematically at least, he can still do it here today. Dave, moving down the grid, Harry Tinknell, very good qualifying in 3rd place.
Yes, very much so. So Harry Tinknell then, as we focus on the grid and run through the grid, Marciello and Rosenqvist then the arch rivals on the front row of the grid, but now we're on row 2 with Harry Tinknell, and it'll be Alex Lynn up next that we see, and there we see the back of Alex's car run forward with our camera there. Lovely livery on that car, and there, the supremely confident Alex Lynn gives us a little wave, Andrew.
Yeah, Lynn, 3 wins this year. Of course, the front row of the grid represents 20 wins this season, because it has been a season mainly about Marciello and indeed Rosenqvist. And Lynn, the next most successful driver after that. 3rd in the championship, he can't lose that position now. Lucas Auer in another of the Prema Power team. He qualifies in 5th place on the 3rd row of the grid, still with his gloves off there on this bright and sunny autumn morning. And looks like we're going to have a bit of onboard camera, Dave, from Lucas Auer. That will be a first for the FIA Formula 3 Championship. Our cameraman doing a bit of a tricky turn there on Sven Muller, and Sven Muller in 6th place. And now with the Dutch Van Amersfoort Racing, having started the season with Marcon, and having just said that, Marcon back to a full 2-car squad this weekend with Stefano Coletti joining them, the man who's currently 4th in the GP2 series, but he's near the back of the grid. Dennis van der Laar in the 2nd Van Amersfoort car, the young Dutchman, still looking for a decent finish this season, a decent top 5.
So as we move from Van der Laar then, as we continue our trip down the grid, and some more creative shots from our cameramen down there, which is nice to see. And there we see that familiar logo there. But Antonio Giovinazzi, the RR Racing driver.
Yeah, Giovinazzi did some testing here a few weeks ago, or the official test they had here, and found some more speed. The RR team dialing that car in a little bit better for Giovinazzi, a man who had a very good karting record. So, also going to be looking here further down the grid for Nick Cassidy in 15th place. Nick Cassidy taking Kvyat's place. Kvyat's on some Red Bull duties this weekend as we look back at Marciello. He only qualified 15th, did Nick Cassidy, on his 2nd Formula 3 race. Remember, we saw him at the Norris Ring. But he was much faster than that in practice, and in the 2nd qualifying session, in fact, was much further up the grid. So we could see Cassidy spring a bit of a surprise here. So, another name that we haven't seen in Formula 3 before, starting in 9th, is Kevin Korjus, the driver from Estonia, from Tallinn, the 20-year-old, who is currently 3rd in the GP3 series, and he replaces Alexander Sims in the T-Sport Nissan-powered car. And Korjus, of course, one-time Renault protege, and even was a reserve driver for Lotus at a Grand Prix a couple of years back. So interesting to see how he gets on. Quite a bit of difference between a GP3 car and these F3 cars. Marciello, though.
Is he going to be feeling the pressure, Andrew?
Well, he has in the past, but the fact that he's qualified so well makes me think that he's got everything right.
Yep.
At the spring meeting here, he had 2 wins to Rosenqvist's 1, so he's going to be feeling pretty confident. I'm sure the team have been talking to him. Of course, Ferrari Academy boss Luca Baldiseri will be here, and his engineer of the last 2 years, Mattia Saladore, they would have been talking to him about it. He's obviously got a great setup for around here, and for my money, he's going to be very difficult to beat. And it could, of course, all be down to the start, as it so often is in Formula 3. Just to remind you, this is not the start here. This is the warm-up lap, or to use motorcycle parlance, the sighting lap. But it really is that. You do have a little look at the track as you go round, and off they go on this warm-up lap, trying to get a bit of temperature into the tyres with a track temperature at the moment of 17.2. And again, we're...
It's for the first time, and it initially looks really good, doesn't it, Andrew, to have that on board?
Yes. I think this is a trial for next season. I'm told they'll definitely be on boards next season. Slightly unusual shot over... Usually they mount those cameras on the side of the cockpit, that's right over the top of his head. It'll be the same people who do the onboards with the DTM. They're always very good, so some good shots from Lucas Auer's car. So in just a moment we'll take you through the starting grid, and there it is. Montiello and Rosenqvist, we said. Ticknell and Lynn you saw, Auer, Muller you saw, Van der Laar, Giovinazzi you saw on the grid. Then Kevin Gorges, the Estonian, and Jordan King qualified in 10th. Had a good race here at the start of the season. Eddie Cheever went so well at Vallelunga a week ago, and Felix Morales, Durrani, Brian Meisner, and after that Cassidy, Blomqvist, Mardenborough, Latifi, we talked to his dad earlier, interesting man, Gilbert, Lewis, Nisani, Lucas Wolf, Galil, Coletti right down. They're obviously finding it a bit difficult adjusting to not having nearly so much power as he's used to, and he had 2 seasons in GP2, or 3 seasons in GP2, and before that he was in World Series by Renault. He's won in both those categories, and just showing how difficult it is to readapt. Right down there near the back of the field, Stefan Coletti, who's even had a win here in Formula 3 back when he was racing here in, well, he had 2 seasons in this series, or the predecessor to this series, in 2008 and 2009, and he won the opening race here in 2009, so he knows how to make a Formula 3 car go quickly around here, and they haven't changed that much, the car, since then. They're still Dallara, a different aero package these days. So it'll be interesting to see if Coletti can make any progress. Why is he doing it? Because he wants to race in the Macau Grand Prix, and you have to do a Formula 3 race prior to the Macau Grand Prix to be eligible for that event. So that's why Coletti has come here. Of course, he's got a couple of races left at Abu Dhabi yet in the GP2 series, where he currently lies in 4th place. He's had some good wins this season as well. There is the familiar Hockenheim track layout at 4.574 kilometres. That means we're going to do 22 laps around here. Some of them may be on board this man, Lucas Auer. So the teenager Marciello on the brink of his championship. As we said, Dave, it could all be down to that start.
Absolutely, the tension rising
look at
there in the
Rennie
Prima Power team.
Yeah, Rennie Rossin, he's smiling now. He sees himself on the camera. And Prima Power team been such a force in this championship in recent years. So, cars lining up at the back. Good to see nearly everyone that started the season still here. The lady driver Cerruti in the pink car dropped out, but nearly everyone else has sustained a season. Mads Grunhagen one that dropped out, but here we are getting ready for the start of what could be the decisive race in this championship. And they will fire it off, and Marciello makes a good start. We've got a staller again, bit difficult telling this light who that was.
But Rosenqvist has done what he needed to do, Andrew, his arch rival, just getting a slightly better start there.
Yeah, Rosenqvist got diving down into the apex now at this hairpin, quite tight there. Round the parabolic, I call that first one a hairpin. I think it's the Ecclestone curve. It's not quite a hairpin, but it's a very sharp one. Then we're coming to a real hairpin there. We've seen all sorts of things, and Van der Laar being challenged there, but certainly it's
whilst all that's going on, Auer is stuck on the start-finish line, and they're desperately trying to get that car going again. Of course, they've got to dive it into the pit lane before the car's now making their way around the hairpin.
So Rosenqvist in the lead to keep his championship hopes alive, take them to the race this afternoon. And Marciello, now will he really make an all-out attack to try and win this, or will he just play the percentage game? Doesn't need to. All right. If he wins this race, he wins the championship. If he finishes second, well, it will go to the next race, but really he has to have a disaster in that. He's still got another opportunity on Sunday morning. So, Rosenqvist, Marciello, Tinknell and Muller, who made a good start. Lynn, Van der Laar, Giovinazzi, Chorus to try and see. Gorgeous, I should say. And Cassidy made a... Cassidy dropped a couple of spaces, and there is a onboard camera. That's a second one, Dave.
Yes, that one mounted more in the traditional place, so you would expect an onboard, as you suggested. And now here comes, he does manage to get away then. So from the pit lane, going to be a lap down, Andrew, but got the car going, and Lucas Auer does join the race.
Yeah, finally Lucas Auer gets away. Some locking up going on here. Somebody limping there.
That is Auer.
Oh, he's just keeping out of the way. He's just being a good boy. He's keeping out of the way. And then there we see from the onboard, he'll just follow them through now, see what sort of pace he can keep up. Marciello just got the fastest first sector. So Marciello putting the pressure on.
So 6/10 last time around, the gap between these two, but as you say, Marciello putting in the fast lap like that, obviously he's keeping the pressure on Rosenqvist, who fantastic start from him, but I don't know, Andrew. I would have thought that Marciello is just going to be sensible about this and not bin it all to try and win.
I want to see that start again, Dave, because it seemed Marciello had a good launch, but then Rosenqvist carrying a bit more speed into the first corner, was just placed right on the track to get that inside line. Third, though, Tinknell having his best race for a little while, and then Lynn, two Brits together. And then Muller switched teams mid-season, backed by the German Post Racing Academy. Gorgeous in his first ever Formula 3 race, doing very well in 7th place. Take our hat off to Gorgeous. Gorgeous currently 3rd in GP3. Cassidy's made progress. Cassidy's actually got a problem. He's dropped to 23rd. Super slow-mo.
So too is Gorgeous, Andrew. He's not showing on the time screen at all.
Watch out for them then.
So slow-mo there. Marciello and Rosenqvist.
Marciello taking a bit more curb than Rosenqvist. Two Brits having a bit of a battle for 3rd place with Tinknell and Lynn. Lynn just gone fastest at first sector, gone purple in the first sector. So this race, this championship may go to next race if it stays like this. Early days yet, 2 out of the 22 laps. 22 and a half now as back in the stadium section. Bright autumn morning here in Hockenheim.
Now, interestingly, Rosenqvist's been shown the black and white flag, Andrew. And
track limits. Yep. A lot of people lost laps in qualifying through not respecting the track limits.
Lynn running really wide there. So Rosenqvist, Marciello, Tinknell, Lynn, there's Muller, Van der Laar. So 3 of 22 here at Hockenheim. Final 3 rounds of this Formula 3 Championship.
Lynn's been warned as well about track limits. So 1st and 3rd men better watch out. Between those white lines. Just outside the top 11, had such a good race on Vallelunga.
After drivers getting those warnings now for track limits, Andrew. Giovinazzi, another one.
Yeah, another one, I think, Mitch Gilbert.
Here's a replay of the start, and there you can see.
Yep.
Suddenly
stalled it.
waving and waving.
Well, pretty even Stevens on the front row of the grid, wasn't it? There you see him stranded there. No phenomenal avoidances. Yeah, Rosenqvist just got the better launch, didn't he, down the inside? Yeah. And just in the right place for that first right-hand turn.
Great to see that from the onboard shot as
well.
well.
Yeah, Mardenborough's car, that is.
And just saw Michael Lewis diving up the inside of that onboard car.
Mardenborough's in 19th spot at the moment. And Mardenborough with the RDC badge on the side of his crash helmet. Single seater racing course for him.
So around the hairpin then. Lap 4 of 22.
Cassidy is still running, Dave, but he's dropped to 20th. You can see what happened to Cassidy. Not the first page of the time here. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous is the one that...
Yeah, he's must be stopped somewhere. Must be a mechanical, otherwise we would see what happened. Gorgeous.
Yes, the number is not showing on our...
Oh, he's got the first 22, haven't we, at the moment?
Yeah, I'm looking on the moving numbers on the track map with the benefit of, and I can't see that number on there at all.
So, Rosenqvist established himself in a 1.6 second lead over Marchiello. Pinknell and Lynn still scrapping over third place. Then it's Muller. Van der Laar having his best Formula 3 race for a long while, if not his best ever. Giovinazzi, John King's up there, Tarani, Cheever's in the top 10, Sorales has just been demoted to 11th, then it's Blomqvist, Latifi, and the Swede, Brian Meisner, who's joined the championship the last 3 rounds, and who finished 4th in the ATS German Formula 3 Cup. Mitch Gilbert, Wolf, Lewis, Coletti has made some progress, it's up to 18th, then it's Mardenborough, Cassidy, Nissani and Calderon, that's the top 22.
So we focus on this battle between Tingle and Lynn then. And line through there, absolutely right on the gearbox, Andrew.
Yeah, Tinknell trying to go around the outside, Lynn rather trying to go around the outside of Tinknell. And see if he can dive down the inside there. He doesn't think about it. Yanks the wheel to the, he yanked the wheel to the right, then saw there was no room. And keeping the pressure up. So the 2 groups together, one from Essex and one from Exeter. There's
Lewis there through, and Wolf just on the undercut.
Wolf will try and get to the flag for all 3 races here at Hockenheim. Is that Galil or Giovinazzi? Going off there.
Galil.
Yeah. Riding with Auer. And then we get past Jalil. Rosenqvist starting to pull out then. It's 2 seconds now. Early days yet.
Well, of course, Rosenqvist to keep those, you know, keep that chance as we look here, Andrew. Is
they're going to touch, surely. They're tagged together. Yeah, they're tagged together, yes, they're tangled together. He's got his right front wheel in front. I think there might be a warning for that.
Well, that went horribly wrong.
That's not enough road. Rosenqvist in the lead for Marchiello, starting to pull away, keeping his title hopes just alive. Just a glimmer of hope will be left after this. Remember the second race at Vallelunga, and Marchiello car went up in smoke. Suddenly, as they waved the flag, suddenly a load of smoke enveloped the car. apparently there was some sort of explosion in the airbox, too much fuel. But here we see this locked together there, and finally they uncouple, and it really didn't make too much difference at the end of the day.
Well, that's where they got locked together.
Yeah, you can see it there, look. And that front wheel is just in front of the right side pod. Or behind the right side pod, I should say. A bit difficult to try and separate them, but that's what they did.
Well, of course, who took advantage of that? Giovinazzi, who's split the Lynn Tinknell, joining now. Taking advantage of...
So in the end, advantage of Tinknell. But Muller moved up to third place. His best showing this season. It's second full year of Formula 3. Sven Muller, still one of those teenage drivers, we've got plenty of them. And as I suspected, as we go on board with Hours making good progress, Alex Lynn has been shown the black and white flag for a dangerous manoeuvre, but effectively it means he's got away with it.
So this on Nissany then, we were just watching that on board, Andrew, really exciting images there. And now and then, the car that we are on board with.
Nice to see Eddie Cheever Jr. up in the top 10. Got some confidence out of that Vallelunga result. Longest 12th with Tiffy. So we were talking to his dad earlier, one of the biggest food producers in Canada. Produces some chicken and turkey and ham and that kind of stuff. Originally came from Iran. Ryan Meisler in 14th. Coletti is now 18th. Adam Marden, Cassidy is now 20th. Time team boss of that Berlin-based organisation. Chris Lee now almost 3 seconds. Another warning flag. Jalil this time. Well, that's for leaving the track limits. We saw him. Oh! And Tinknell then going wide.
So that was Van der Laar.
Van der Laar in the lighter two-tone blue car. Rosenquist, Marcello, Muller, Lynn, Tinknell. Muller hasn't had a podium this season, so the first for him. King up to 6th place. And Durrani.
So that pack then behind Van der Laar.
Yeah, plenty of excitement down there.
And there Van der Laar and King.
Yeah, it's Van der Laar going wide.
Wide.
Durrani going through. For some reason, got a question mark in the middle of his Brazilian flag on the side of the car. I'm not sure why. When it says has a globe and the words order and progress, it's just got a question mark. I'll find out what that's all about. Now the gap is 3.2 seconds. Muller another 3 seconds back.
Blomqvist just got past Sorales.
Yeah, Blomqvist moved up to 11th.
So the Cassidy car is right ahead of us from this onboard shot, Andrew.
Now, certainly got plenty of speed, hasn't he? Shame he stalled it.
battle as we watch on board as he's trying to find a way past Cassidy.
Cassidy driving for Carlin for the first time, the reigning Toyota Racing Series champion from New Zealand. He's won that title for the last 2 years against a lot of European infiltrators. Previous Formula 3 meeting.
Return to this on board, the sun streaming through the camera lens there. Bright morning here at Hockenheim.
Well, 3 wide and 2 wide behind.
Oh, and that caused damage to the Coletti car.
Yeah, I think Coletti will be coming in.
It's the nose, isn't it?
Yeah, even had a little VW badge on it. The very tip of the nose got taken out.
Rosenquist here with 3.5 seconds over Marcello, Andrew.
Yeah, Marcello's just playing it cool.
Yep.
Get those 18 points in the bag rather than the 25. Projection is, if it stays like this, Marcello will be on 452.5, and Rosenquist will be on 414. Remember, 50 points still to play for. Rosenquist, Marcello, Moller, Lynn, Tingle, King. King had an excellent first season as a rookie in Formula 3. Durrani, Vandelar, Shiva, and Blomqvist. Sorales, who was been a front runner earlier in the season. Still got that bit of a problem with his back, I think. Nice shot there of the number 6 car of the Muka Motorsport entry for Felix Rosenquist, and who won the Masters on a couple of occasions at Zandvoort. Marcello, looking all the stylist that he is. Very interesting to read a very good interview with him on motorsport.com.
So Rosenquist with a 3.8 advantage over that man, Marcello. Last time around, will have increased it still further, Andrew. As we said, Marcello was driving very sensibly, isn't it? No, the margin stays the same, but it's just... And
Muller seems pretty firmly in 3rd place now from Lynn and Tingle and King, so 3 Brits together in 4th, 5th and 6th. And Durrani, Vandelar and Shiva, Blomqvist.
Sorales, Latifi, Brant Meisner, Gilbert, Lewis and Wolf. So back on board then.
24th, just Goddard. Reasonable runs in the last couple of meetings. From back down near the back of the field for this one. Second with the 3-bond T-Sport team car.
Around this fast sweep of Parabolica then before the hard breaking up into the hairpin as we were, but we cross back to our race leader Felix Rosenquist, who to keep the mathematical championship chances alive had got to win this. He's doing it, isn't he, Andrew? Marcello.
Yep, but Marcello's right there in 2nd place. There is the Dutch prepared car. 3rd position. Muller. Halfway through here, just over halfway through here. Looks as if he's heading towards his first podium of the year. We've had that many different people on the podium actually this season, Dave, because we've had a 1 win from Kvyat, Zandvoort. Marcello, Rosenquist and Lynn. only other people to be on the podium is Tinknell when he had his win at Silverstone, Auer, and Pascal Wehrlein before he got promoted to the DTM from first round of Monza in the pouring rain. So, too many made the podium.
So the first 5, Andrew, all got comfort, haven't they? They're sort of out with big margins between each other.
Yeah. Remember, there's time management going on here, but with the strong suggestion of rain tomorrow, they'll probably all use up their slicks in this and the second race. Sometimes they tend to preserve them if they can, but rain seems to be forecast for tomorrow. And Marciello just chiseled a little bit back with the fastest overall first sector this time around. Rosenqvist, 14 laps in the book from the Swede.
So there you see P1, here comes P2, that's Raffaele Marciello then at the top of the championship table. Here's a nice sweet slow-mo then.
We've got a drive-through penalty for Muller, I think. No, not for Muller, sorry, car 7.
Coletti.
Yeah, Coletti.
And we saw him lose his nose, didn't we?
Yeah. So, well, it's all, I think he's already see it, didn't we? But I think he must be tired of the pits.
Still on the track.
Yeah, 7 was Muller's old number at Constantine. Martin's just had a black and white flag. Again. Now must be about 20. Well, there he's going. He's going past Mardenborough.
Of course, he's a lap
Left behind. Yeah.
So 14 of the 22 laps. As, now from Mardenborough's car, we go on board around the Hockenheim circuit here. Then the final showing for the European Formula 3 Championship here in...
Yeah, if he wants a few more people on his Twitter feed, they need to move that up a little bit. I think it says at Jan the Man.
Right.
Something like that, but like 2 N's in Jan. Check it out. He's quite a Twitterer, is Jan Mardenborough. And of course fully supported by Nissan, driving a lot of different Nissan powered cars this season, and indeed this Volkswagen powered car. Rosenqvist then has widened the gap to 4.3 seconds. Just in the distance, see Marciello, Lello, as his fans call him. Had a big banner out for him at Vallelunga last weekend. What a sting in the tail this championship's had, with 3 rounds in the last 4 weeks. Really put a bit of pressure on the teams. Nice shot of Rosenqvist and Carlson's Svensson project. I said before, Dave, sounds like a Swedish heavy metal band.
Yes.
Actually, they design shopping centres. And they put a lot of money into this young man. Just to see that very stiff suspension, Hankook tyres.
We noticed earlier on just a couple of differentiators between the cars, didn't we, Andrew? Little fins here and there.
Yeah.
And
teams allowed to do their own aerodynamics.
so Rosenqvist is not running one that we noticed on the Carlin cars certainly earlier, but Rosenqvist in the lead, more dominant lead he's got as well. 4.4 seconds over Marciello, then it's Muller, then it's Lynn. Tinknell King Durrani van der Laar is P8 with Cheever Blomqvist and Soralis Latifi, Brian Meisler, Gilbert and Lewis, as you can see on screen there as well. With this, the man at the top of the championship table, Raffaele Marciello. Who Austria this week, Andrew, will be appearing at the big Ferrari World Finals as obviously as the young Ferrari man that he is. Probably driving something very special there down in Mugello in a few weeks' time.
Be interested to see what Ferrari do with him next year. There's been suggestions now of a DTM ride. Of course, obviously Mercedes have got an interest in this car with the engines, and quite a lot of these Mercedes drivers have gone on to DTM in the past, the Formula 3 champions like Cadella and Meri of late, past even the likes of Franchitti and Di Resta. But a different situation here with him being fully under the wing of Ferrari. Mercedes interested in him as well. So it's yet to be revealed. Still a teenager. Italy love to have a decent peddler in a Ferrari Formula 1, a decent Italian peddler. Shiva in the points again. Latifi with his dad here this weekend, keeping it clean and not getting involved in any instance. Rudersdorf, we haven't talked of him in the other Marcon car, 20th place. Had a great season. There's Muller.
It's interesting. Sorry, you were mentioning there the conversations we had earlier with Latifi's father. And one point that was drilled home to me was the fact that he said that with the Carlin team, he just felt that he'd been really embraced, the young man who's gained experience, hasn't he? And really feels it's been good for him to be. 17
years old, comes over from Canada, obviously lived in a family with quite a lot of money, and suddenly is chucked into Britain in his own little flat, all on his own. Got to learn how to heat up those baked beans. And it's a big thing for a young man to come and do that. But it's a great opportunity for him. And we have seen some flashes of speed from Latifi, considering his lack of experience. This is his first full season in car racing.
So I've just seen the Coletti car come into the pit lane, Andrew. Coletti is out
there with the nose taken off, you see. Well, he can fly back to Monaco now, and he's qualified to race in the end of season Macau event.
Drive-through penalties that flashed up on the screen that not seen, including Nick Cassidy, Andrew.
Cassidy and
Galliel. There is Coletti that we were talking about.
Like that band called Bits.
We'll get into that, shall we? So Rosenqvist then with 4.6 over Marcello completes another lap here at Hockenheim. Rosenqvist, Marcello. Then it's Muller, Lynn, Tincknell. So there is Rosenqvist then. 4.7 seconds to the good over Marcello.
Battles in the field. Well, Van der Laar's quite close behind Durrani for 7th place. It's the closest one at the moment. And Bryant Meisner's right behind Latifi. Three laps remaining then in this largely uneventful race, but the big storyline, so we see Lucas Wolff defending not very well actually. Zani going by him. The headline here is the championship goes to Saturday afternoon race. Oh, I'm pretty sure it'll be clinched there, but nothing's over until it's over. Rosenquist just still going faster. Those tyres are still working very well indeed. Just gone fastest in the first sector. Again, Rosenquist. Gap now almost 5 seconds. There's Roy Lizani, the driver from Tel Aviv. Very international field in Formula 3 this year. And now under attack from the German, Dusdorf. Marcon team, Blomqvist drove for them last year, that last minute deal. Blomqvist with full Red Bull backing, 10th place.
Going into this race, 7th in the points table. I think I probably expected a bit more of Blomqvist from this season.
I think he expected more. Remember, he's with the Euro International team, though, with no experience running cars in this championship. Joined them from Macau last year. And Wolf clattering it over the curbs. Selecting some of the German drivers. We've got one in 3rd place in Muller. Firmly in 3rd position. Lynn in 4th. The 3rd position in the championship's locked in now. That will be Lynn whatever happens.
Yeah.
Tincknell and King, the 3 Brits still circulating more or less together. Vandelar up in the points, Cheever in the points, Blomqvist just in the points.
Of course, Tincknell and King 5th and 6th in the points going into this, weren't they? And
yeah. Calderon, the lady driver, in 21st. But the orange car is then marching home to victory.
Well, faultless race he's driven.
It's a faultless race, but a bit too late really. Just had a patch in the middle of the season where, particularly at Brands Hatch, didn't work for him there, didn't get on the podium at all. And of course he bounced back at Red Bull with the 3 victories.
Yep. So on the final lap then. And, well, keeping the mathematical chances of the championship alive then. Felix Rosenqvist leading from Marcello in 2nd place then. We've seen a little of him on screen, to be honest. In 3rd place it is Muller. But Andrew, here they come.
Here he comes, Rosenqvist keeps that tidal hope just flickering alive as he turns round the final corner and into the stadium, and then just a couple of corners now before he takes this checkered flag for his 9th win of the year. Felix Rosenqvist, the Scandinavian Viking charger, he wins here at Hockenheim to take the 25 points. Marciello comes home for 2nd place. We'll do the maths in a minute to see what he needs to do to clinch it in race 2. Muller, his first podium of the season, and the first podium for Van Amersfoort Racing. Then it's Lynn in 4th, Tincknell, King, Tarani, Vandelar. That is your top 8. There is Rosenqvist. And Dave, I'll just get the old calculator out.
So Andrew starts computing then. Some great images there from the pit perch. So Felix Rosenqvist then takes the win. And he's on his slowdown now. Marciello then 2nd place.
So Marciello is now 38.5 points in the lead. Remember, there's 25 points for a win.
Nice to see Marciello give Rosenqvist the thumbs up as he goes past. So they're the Prima Power Team driver. See the flags being waved by the marshals at the end of the race. Of course, doing a great job, doing the best job of the lot. This man Rosenqvist then got a fine start. As Andrew said, his launch was just marginally better than Marcello's, which placed him dead right for the first right-hander here at Hockenheim. And a here replay then of the checkered flag falling.
Absolut, kommt gleich. Und das kommt Get Lucky. Vorher habe ich aber noch keinen Palim, sondern einen Lalü sozusagen.
And the top step of the podium beckons for
was ganz einfaches, auf dem
Rosenqvist.
Platz beim VfL steht ein 7er BMW. Der wird auf das
Kennzeichen. To the very right of the picture, you can see the delights on the pit wall.
I think, and I need to double check this, but I think that if Rosenqvist can finish the race this afternoon, obviously he finishes ahead of Marcello, and keep him alive. There's various different combinations. We'll do the sums before that race.
So here, confirmation of the result in full for you then. Felix Rosenqvist taking the win from Raffaele Marcello. Sven Muller, P3. Alex Lynn, then Harry Tinknell, Jordan King, Pippa Durrani, Dennis van der Laar, P8, then Jiva, Blomqvist, then Sorales, Latifi, Bryant Meisner, Gilbert, Lewis, Mardenborough, Giovinazzi, Nassani, Wolf, and Rudersdorf. And there we see Felix out of the car. Straight across to the team.
Yeah, the boys from Berlin who prepare this car. Remember, Mucker Motorsport have never won this Formula 3 Championship or the Euro Series before it. Been there and thereabouts for a long time. So another win for Felix Rosenqvist. And Marcello still discussing his race. See how tall he is there, Dave? He's 6'1", is he? He's just about going to squeeze into a Formula 1 car because of this recent discussions about the size of drivers. Not so much the length of them, but the weight of them.
The overall weight. And you and I were having this conversation a few races ago about the the impact that could have. And then not shortly afterwards was, as you say, that dialogue started, didn't it, with regards to just looking at F1 for next season.
Rosenqvist, the right size for a racing driver. Don't know how much he weighs, but he's an American. He's going to be not much more than 140 pounds. So Rosenqvist is the winner here. Championship continues. Again, of course, a win for Marcello will clinch it in the Saturday afternoon race, which local time is going to be at, just checking the timetable here, 5:05. Big long shadows by then. There's Muller, pleased with his first podium. Marcello, with the Hankook hat. Just a Korean company marches on and on. They've got original equipment on some very prestigious manufacturers. Just reading that this week they announced they're going to start making tyres in the United States, building a brand new factory in the United States to make tyres. Certainly using racing with the DTM, and of course they took over this series a couple of years ago from their Korean rival Kumo.
Right.
There's the points then.
Are your computations correct, Andrew? I'm sure
yes,
they are.
yes,
452.5 is where Marcello is now. with Rosenquist 414, then Lynn, Auer, Tinknell.
Jordan King, 6th. So Tinknell, of course, did a few rounds of this last season and raced in British Formula 3. Auer is almost a rookie. Just did this meeting last year, which is, I think, his first Formula 3 race. So the flags fly here on a very bright day at Hockenheim, which about an hour's drive south of Frankfurt, just off the main autobahn, which goes from Frankfurt down to Stuttgart. So
here comes the podium then.
Podium, Marciello does not leap in the air as we've seen him do in the past. 2nd place. And, reflections of a good race for Felix Rosenquist. As we said before, can't resist it again. Family business was in nails, and he's nailed it again today. So he'll keep that hat with the first on it. Or he might give it to one of his team, perhaps. He's got a few of them now. So, the Swedish national anthem we used to hear so often in Formula 3 races way back in the 70s. There's Rennie Ross in there, and here's the trophy with Mr. Manfred Ruckel from the EDAC Württemberg handing it over. Places it discreetly at his feet. CEO of the ATS group who make wheels hands over the next trophy to the engineer from Mucker Motorsport. There's Peter Mucker looking on. Cielo gets his trophy from Mr. Ruckel. So Rennie Ross just shouting encouragement there, and
Fredholm Weimar.
So that's a very good result for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Had a huge amount of success in different championships over the years, but this their first podium. Current Formula 3 main international championship, which is what this is. So the engineer from Muck is taken to the shorts. I think he'll be wearing them tomorrow. They pause in rain as we're expecting. Yeah, good to see Muller right up there again. That switch of teams certainly had some good results for him. Another German backed by the German Post Racing Academy. Interesting to see now that British Post Office has been privatised, will they
maybe
put some money in to motor racing, high-speed delivery and all that. So it should work, shouldn't it?
Absolutely.
As I've told you before, way back when, in the Swift, well, Swift Air it was the brand, and sponsored a car in the C2 World Sports Car Championship, run by Ray Malek, if I remember correctly. Had a lot of success with that. So, Felix Rosenquist is about to be interviewed. Will wait too. Muller already giving his reactions to German TV station that covers this racing. Indeed, their commentator's just next door to us. And now the bubbly stuff is sprayed everywhere. Who was it that started that? Wasn't it the great Californian racing Dan Gurney? I think he was the first to pop a cork, although Champagne had been involved in motor racing for a very long time. The Mum Company, who now provide the champagne for Formula One Grand Prix, they sponsored a car. There's a car in the Wheatcroft Museum at Donington that's got Mum on it, and it's from the 1920s. And of course the champagne houses in the Reims circuit, several of them all had hospitality suites actually at the Reims racetrack. So here's some highlights of this race with our first. We've got onboard cameras. Sadly our onboard cameras didn't make much progress, but for now, from me, Andrew Marriott, for Dave Richardson, it's goodbye until later, and later means 5:05 European time. See you then. Thanks very much for listening.